Okay, today we're going to be checking out the OGM Pro V2 from Waizowl. This was sent out to me by Lethal Gaming Gear, so I'm very thankful for them for sending it out. However, that will not affect my opinion. Well, let's get into it. Okay, right off the bat, I am not a big fan of ergos. I never have been. I can use them when like scrolling, but when playing games, I just haven't been the biggest ergo fan. This is more of like an asymmetrical. It is ergo, but it is closer to an asymmetrical in my opinion, just because the left click and right click aren't super different from each other. There is a little bit of variance. The left click is a little bit higher than the right click, which in most ergos it's super exaggerated to where it just feels like your wrist is twisted. This is a little bit less of that. This has been a really good experience for me on the ergo side of mice. This is probably the first ergo that I've actually enjoyed, and I've been using it pretty heavy for like 2 weeks now. With my fingertip grip, the side profile is great, especially with how I rest my ring and pinky finger on the outside. The asymmetrical, like ergo-ish style of the outside edge helps a lot for the type of grip that I have. Same thing with the left side of the mouse below the side buttons. It gives enough space for someone with larger hands to not have your thumb constantly dragging on the mouse pad or your pinky constantly dragging on the mouse pad. For the shape to be perfect, in my opinion, for me specifically, if the left click was just a little bit lower and more asymmetrical, less ergo, it would be perfect. But otherwise, this is honestly the best ergo I've tried, and that's coming from someone that doesn't really enjoy ergos. So yeah, the coating on the new Waizowl products that are coming out is really good, especially on the OGM Pro V2. This coating is just ridiculous. I mean, I can pick it up with barely even grabbing it. The coating is just insane. I'd say the coating is kind of close to like a razor coating. The last coating that I had that was kind of similar was the Viper V3 Pro, and I'd say that was a little bit more chalky and almost sticky compared to this. This is super smooth, but still just has like an insane amount of grip. There's no way I would ever even put grips on this mouse just because of how good the coating is. The clicks on this copy were pretty good. Most of the Waizowl products that I've tried have a little bit too much pre-travel for my liking, so I did end up opening this up and putting a layer of aluminum tape on the clicks. Ever since I did the aluminum tape mod, this mouse has been wonderful. The side buttons are a tad bit punchy. I'd rather have more punchy clicks on the side buttons than them being super mush city like super lights. The overall quality is pretty good. The only thing I do know is that they were having some issues with the bases not being super flat, which is not a big issue if you mainly use cloth pads. If you do mainly use glass pads, that is kind of like a huge issue. And I know that's been an issue with pretty much every brand as of lately, not having exactly flat bases. Has to do something with like the injection molding or whatever molding process they're using, potentially not letting it cool down all the way before they pull it off the line and it goes into the next step. That's something to be a little weary of, is the flat base. Again, if you're a cloth enjoyer, then it's not really going to be a problem for you. Their stock skates are actually pretty good as well, so that's a positive. Overall opinion would be, if you like ergos, like super ergos, this might not be the best shape for you. It is a little bit more asymmetrical, and if you do only like symmetricals and don't like ergos, this might be one of the ergos that you will enjoy. It's the first ergo that I'm actually really enjoying and will definitely be keeping in my top rotation.